So in the famous words of the most infamous Britney Spears, oops, I did it again. I bought too many fragrances. Stay tuned. What's going on, everybody? My name is Joshua, if you haven't already figured that out. To you people, thank you so much for showing up to this channel. This channel is ScentSense. To all you people who continually watch this channel and continue to grow this channel with me and support me, to you people, thank you so much. And to all you new people who are maybe checking out the channel for the very first time, I invite you to stick around, Bo, because you know why? Okay, I couldn't come up with anything clever to say, so just be nice and stick around. In this video, we'll be talking about fragrances that I've picked up recently. Post the last video you saw where I picked up entirely too many fragrances. Yet again, I continued to pick up more things. So let's just jump right into it with the things that I've already opened and pulled out of the box, or I just don't have in a box at this current moment. Let's start with those guys. Coming up first is a fragrance that I'm sure is going to shock a few people. I'm sure a lot of people are going to think, man, Josh, didn't you say you don't really care for the notavirus? It's starting to grow on me. I'm trying to understand it. I'm trying to learn it. I'm trying to dabble, if you will, little iris in my life. So the fragrance I reached for is the one that, you know, kind of is a really popular one that's really easily accessible in the designer realm, a fragrance that a lot of people wear. Enough talking about it. Let's just show you. Dior's Homme. So this is the one that started off the entire Homme line, that beautiful glass rectangular bottle that has such a great presentation. My favorite from the line is, of course, Dior Homme. I also like Dior Homme Sport, the newer one, the one that doesn't have the iris note, because in my opinion, a sport fragrance shouldn't have iris. Just, to me, it just doesn't work. I understand some people think, oh, it's so creative, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like wearing a raincoat in a winter storm. It can work, but it's not ideal. So you can be looking forward to hearing me talk about this in the near future. That's Dior's Homme. The next one is one that I just now got into. I just got my hands on it. A lot of people have been talking about this forever. I waited till it got dirt cheap, and it's had a bunch of different flankers at this point. It's dead on the money when people said it had poor longevity, because this one is piss poor, but at the price, it's easy to reapply. Fragrance we're talking about is Abercrombie Fitch's First Instinct. So as you can see, little metal plate on the side. It's got this really cool looking bottle. This is just a really pleasant, fresh, watermelon-y fragrance. It just really works. I think it's supposed to be watermelon. I didn't check the notes. I'm not even gonna try to lie to you. It's kind of what I get, that kind of vibe. Like it's almost like a super fresh watermelon, not like a mouth-watering juicy watermelon like you get from Feel and Chill from Jusbox. But nevertheless, it's not too bad, and it's a smaller bottle, which you guys know I dig the smaller bottles, but we'll see how it works. I don't know. Yeah, I get watermelon. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll put something on the screen if I'm wrong. If I didn't, that means I was right. Like I said, guys, Abercrombie Fitch First Instinct. Up next is a fragrance that you're gonna definitely hear me talking about. This is one that is not talked about. I think I've seen maybe one review in the history of anything I could find on YouTube. This is discontinued. You can't find it readily available at any stores. It's literally hard to find on any discounter. You pretty much have to hit up eBay and hope you find it. It's ridiculously cheap, even though it seems like it's not because of what it is. This is a celebrity fragrance from a female for men, and I think it's just a beautiful fragrance. It's a gem for sure. It kind of looks like a stone or a gemstone. That's Deseo from Jennifer Lopez. So let's just talk about this bottle here. It's got a very unique kind of look to it. It kind of looks like a stone. It sits like this, of course, and then pops off the cap. It says Deseo for men around the side. It's just a really cool fragrance. I really enjoy it. I don't want to give away too much. Just know it's going to be talked about. This is a super hidden gem, something that people are not talking enough about. I paid about $35 for the 1.7 ml, and that doesn't sound like a lot, but for a celebrity fragrance, especially since they usually go for like 15, 20 bucks for a big bottle, I feel like it's kind of pricey. I think the 3.4 is like 50 to 60 bucks. So I really enjoy it. I really am eager to talk to you about this and really break it down. That's Deseo for Men from Jennifer Lopez. Up next is another discontinued gem. It was really hard to get my hands on this because everybody who had a Marshalls, a Ross, a TJ Maxx in their local stores found this fragrance. They found one of the great fragrances from the line of Commodity, and I was unable to find it because my Marshalls, my Ross, my TJ Maxx, my Burlington, trash. Absolute trash all the time. So when I saw this one, I was super excited. You have fragrances such as Leather, Book, Oris, Whiskey, Tonka, Vetiver. There was tons of different ones, but the one that I knew I had to get my hands on and the one that I was most excited about comes from them at Commodity. It's called Bergamot. So I'm sure anybody with a Facebook and in a Facebook fragrance group would know that these fragrances have been popping up in Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Ross, Burlington, discounters galore. Lo and behold, my local discounters suck. They never have anything worth value. It's always the same trash. It's always the same old tired fragrances that you could buy online for much cheaper. Enough of that. It just makes me sad. So luckily for me, I had a buddy of mine on Facebook that was like selling these or raffling these off. And I asked him, I said, hey man, can I pick one of these up from you? And he was nice enough to let me buy it from him for just a few bucks more than he paid for it, for his troubles and the shipping cost to get it to me. Of course, I'll be talking about this one in the upcoming weeks, but until I do, the fragrance that I'll be loving so much that I finally got it, it was like the Lord of the Rings ring. That's Bergamot from Commodity. Next up are two fragrances from the same house that I picked up from the same person, Mr. David Glick from the Facebook fragrance groups. He sold these to me at ridiculously low prices. In fact, kind of worried maybe he's getting into the booger sugar because this is some crackhead prices. Just joking with you, bro. The two I'm going to talk about is D600 and Bobo. So, of course, these names are quite weird. They are just something else. But D600 is a perfume that captures the urban lifestyle and the Mediterranean spirit of Barcelona. A seamless blend of the old and the new. I'm not going to read all the notes. They're on the back of the box. If you can see it, pause your screen. Box opens up kind of cool. It's got a black cap that's wooden. Basically, what this is, even though I don't even have to look at this, but I will anyway, this is an Italian iris-based fragrance. This is a lot like Dior Homme in more ways than one. The presentation, the smell, everything about it. This is just, in my opinion, a higher quality Dior Homme or Dior Homme kind of fragrance. If you're interested in iris fragrances and you've gotten into Dior Homme or Valentino Uomo and all of these fragrances from the designer realm, but you just want to next level that, right here, guys. D600.
Where do you guys come up with these names?
Speaking of weird names, from the same set of fragrances as Figman, we're going to talk about briefly Bobo. So reading from the back of this box, it says, Bobo, an ancient folkloric dance is just as it sounds, a lively and celebratory custom that still today in modern times transmits the festive Mediterranean spirit. So I feel really dumb for saying, where do you get these names? And literally I read the box and it tells me. So enough self-deprecation. This fragrance looks a whole lot like Figman. You've got the wooden cap with the nice blue writing, the white label on the front. So what you're gonna get from this is a amped up, kind of more niche level, quality version of Versace's Mantle Fresh or Light Blue from Dolce & Gabbana. I'm not saying those fragrances smell alike. Don't castrate me and lose your mind and come at me with pitchforks and say I don't know what I'm talking about and leave stupid comments. I'm saying the same vibe, the same kind of feel, the same kind of scent characteristic. That's what this gives you. This is just a lot higher quality, a lot better performance, and just an overall better scent, in my opinion. So that is Bobo from Carner Barcelona.
Oh yeah, side note. I know I already said it, but I'm gonna say it again. I bought these. So I don't want to hear your crap.
Rolling right along, another fragrance that comes in a nifty box. It's a fancy box from a fancy fragrance house. The fragrance we're talking about is Byredo's Pulp. Okay, this box is really intense. So you got the sleeve. It's got this gigantic B on the front. It says Byredo on the back. It's got a little seal on both sides. Of course, I broke that. You open that up. And of course, you've got the bottle right here, guys. It's a beautiful bottle right here. Byredo Pulp. It's got a little card in here. I'm sure it's got some information. To be honest, I haven't opened it. I may never open it because it just doesn't matter to me. But when it comes to this guy right here, the presentation is really great. I've seen videos where people talk about this fragrance or talk about fragrances from the house and they show the bottle. I've seen pictures on Instagram, but holding it in your hand, looking at it in front of you is just really well done. I mean, the etching on the bottom of the bottle, or however this is placed on there where the information is done so well. It just doesn't look real crappy. It doesn't look like it's gonna just fall off, or it's not on a sticker like a lot of other people. And it's readable, it's legible. So that's what's really cool about it. And you can see it through the bottle from the other side. Really neat. Really simplistic, really clean. You guys know I've said this before. I really enjoy that. When it comes to the scent, photorealistic orange. It is super photorealistic. At first, it almost smells like a rotting orange or an overripe orange, but as it starts to sit on your skin, all the other notes come to the forefront, and this fragrance just smells juicy, and it just smells like it comes alive. I really enjoy this one. I'm gonna get some more wearings out of it and let you know what I think about it, but until then, this one's gonna definitely rock with me. So again, Byredo's Pulp. Next up is a fragrance that I received from the good folks at Euro Perfumes. They sent me this for review from the good folks at Jusbox, which has quickly grown to be one of my favorite fragrance houses. I have now 4 fragrances from the line. This one is their brand new release, and I can't wait to talk about it. Coming up very soon. It's called Sirens and Sailors. So for those of you who haven't heard about Jusbox or haven't seen my video or other videos about Jusbox, let's just take a quick moment to look at this bottle. I mean, isn't that just spectacular? I mean, look at the cap. It's got the record on the top. I mean, it's just beautiful. And the sprayer is just really good. So what this one's about is it's a fragrance that's supposed to be based off of and to symbolize the life, the music, the artistry, and the vibe of the lovely Miss Amy Winehouse. We lost Amy entirely too fast, and any fragrance would pale in comparison to her, but at the same time, I think this one is just really great. Jusbox is all about evoking emotion and evoking something that has to do with music and fragrance and bringing those two worlds together and really painting a picture and telling a story of a time, a place, a sound, a person. It's all in there, and it's all in every spray of this. Keep your eyes peeled. I'll be talking about this one, and you're not gonna get what you expect out of this. I know it looks like something you would expect to be ultra femme, and some people are gonna say it's super femme, but you know what? Just wait for it, guys. That's gonna be Sirens and Sailors from Jusbox. Last but not least is a fragrance from the house of Memo. Memo is famous for fragrances such as African leather, the rest of the leather line. It's a fragrance house that pushes boundaries and makes beautiful presentations. So I'm not even gonna spend a whole lot of time rambling and going on and on. I'm just gonna let you see it because that just kind of speaks for itself. The fragrance we're talking about is Winter Palace from Memo. So I first heard about this fragrance from Ashton over at ScentSense. He was talking about fragrances that were going to be coming out, fragrances that he would be interested in, fragrances he may not be interested in, but just overall news about fragrances. When I heard about this one and his description of what it was supposed to be like, I couldn't wait to get it. So I'll just pull this part off so you guys can check this out. This kind of undoes like that. It's like a little postcard. It's got the notes on the back, a story about the fragrance. All that fancy stuff that you read online. It says Memo Paris, Memo logo on the top, and of course, if I can open this sucker, there it is, there it sits. So this one right here, quickly, I'm gonna go into it, is something that's very polarizing. If you're not looking for something that's polarizing, if you're not looking for something to be adventurous with, something to kind of challenge yourself as a fragrance enthusiast, and you just like to wear stuff that strictly is mass appealing, people pleasing, steer as far clear from this as you can. Think of it as the dragon from freaking Game of Thrones and just steer clear. Say, no, Drogon, I don't want any part of you. If you like things that are different, if you like unique, if you want to be set apart, this is one you should definitely check out. But until I tell you more about it, maybe you should get a sample. Or maybe you should just wait and listen up. That's up to you. Last but not least is a fragrance that's gonna round out my entirely too big fragrance haul that costs entirely too much money. The fragrance we've spoken about that I can't wait to share with you in the future is Winter Palace by Membo. All right, guys, that about does it for me. Why don't you go ahead in the comment section below, let me know which one of these fragrances you want to hear about most. I'll go ahead and take that into consideration when I'm deciding which ones I want to review next, and I'll be trying these out in the next upcoming days. I've been trying them out before, but I'll get some more time with them. That way, I'll be fully prepared. I just want to say thank you again so much for you guys stopping by and watching my videos. While you're at it, if you want to, why don't you go ahead and subscribe to the channel? If you decide you don't want to, no big deal. But if you do, or if you already are, go ahead and smash that notification bell. That way, when the videos come out, you people, first to know. And as always, and most importantly, I'll smell you later. Peace!